Hello students, welcome to our channel SD Biology classes. In my last video, I have discussed about Pteridophyta, one type of plant body. Their general features, the types of Pteridophyta, and also we have learned about the life cycle of Pteridophyta, the homosporous and heterosporous, two different types of Pteridophyta and their life cycle. Today, we are going to know about another group of plant kingdom, that is Gymnosperm. They mainly considered as the naked seeded plant. So let's start it. Students, today we are going to learn about the general features of Gymnosperm, their similarities with the xerophytic plants, the types of Gymnosperms, and the trivia that contains some important facts about Gymnosperm, and the most important part of the video, that is the assignment portion. So students, now we are going to learn about the general features of Gymnosperm. The term Gymnosperm was proposed by Theophrastus. They are mainly called as the naked seeded plant. The gymnos, the word gymnos means naked and sperm means seed. So Gymnosperm means naked seeded plant. That means they have the seed, but the seeds are not enclosed within the fruit. They are also the vascular plants. That means they have xylem and the phloem tissue. But remember that the xylem tissue don't have the vessels and the phloem tissues don't have the companion cell. These two are the basic features that we can see in the vascular bundle or the vascular tissues of the Gymnosperm. They are also considered as the xerophytic plant. Why? Because they mainly grow in the hilly regions, and also they are growing in the snowy places. That means in the cold countries mainly they grow more, and as they are growing in the hilly regions, that means there is less water content under the soil, in rocky surface is there. That's why these plants are also called as the xerophytic plants. There are some other features that are the similar to the xerophytic plants. Later on we will know about that. Their main plant body is sporophytic plant body. That means each and every cell of the sporophytic plant body having 2n number of chromosomes. So the plant body that we can see in the hilly regions, when we go to travel there, we can see whatever types of Gymnosperm plants, that plant body is sporophytic type of plant body. Their plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaf-like structure. Here we are getting two specific type of roots in some of the members of the Gymnosperm, like Pinus. In the root of Pinus, the fungus make the symbiotic association, and this symbiotic association where in the root the fungus present as a and maintain a symbiotic relationship, it is called as the mycorrhiza. Myco means fungus and rhiza means root. So in the root of the Pinus we are getting symbiotic association of the fungus, and it is called as mycorrhiza. Whereas another specialized root that we can see in case of Cycas, it is called as the coralloid root. In the root of the Cycas, one symbiotic blue-green algae, the name of the algae is nostoc. Symbiotic blue-green algae, or the one of the member of the cyanobacteria, they live in the root of the Cycas plant and make a coral shaped structure. So due to presence of this coral shaped structure, the root of the Cycas is called as the coralloid root. So Pinus and the Cycas, both of them make the symbiotic association. One of them make the symbiotic association with the fungus and make the mycorrhiza, and another member, that is Cycas, make the symbiotic association with a blue-green algae called as the nostoc and make coralloid root. The stem, their stem is very woody, and most of the cases we can see the secondary growth in their stem. Their leaf, the leaf are mainly pinnately compound megaphylous leaf, large size pinnately compound leaves. Sometimes the leaves are also needle shaped, that we can see in case of Cycas. So some of the very common example of gymnosperm, that is the cycas plant. The plant is looking like the small palm tree. That is not the palm tree but the gymnosperm. Another example, very common example, the plant commonly called as the deodar plant. That is also another example of the gymnosperm plant. So all these plants having the megaphyllous leaves. So they bear the megaphyllous leaf as well as sometimes they have the needle shaped leaves, as we can see in case of pinus. They are also heterosporous. That means they bear two types of spores, and most of the cases spores are present in two different plant body. That means plant body is dioecious and they bear heterosporous. They are heterosporous. That means they produce two types of spore: microspores produced within microsporangia and microsporangia are present within the microsporophyll. The microsporophylls compact and make a hard woody structure, that is the cone, and that cone is called as the male cone. So in case of pinus or in case of some other members of the gymnosperm, they make a cone-like structure. Mainly we can see this type of cone-like structure in case of higher group of the gymnosperm. Whereas the another type of spore that are larger in size, they are equivalent to the ovule structure. They are called as the megaspore. They are formed within the megasporangia sometimes, and the megasporangia are remain attached to the megasporophyll. And when the megasporophylls make a compact structure, they make the female cone. So we are getting two different types of spores in the member of the gymnosperm. Now what type of life cycle we can see here? We can get diplontic life cycle. The sporophytic, as the plant body is sporophytic, so most of the time, most of the part of the life cycle is occupied by the diploid phase, and the gametophytic phase is very much restricted, as we can see in the angiosperm also. The gametophytic phase is very much restricted there. So that's why they bear the gymnosperm, the member of the gymnosperm, they bear diplontic life cycle. So later on in the next part of the video, we will discuss about the diplontic life cycle, and also we will discuss the comparison between the angiosperm and the gymnosperm. Now we are going to know about the types of gymnosperm. Okay students, now we are going to know about the types of the gymnosperm. Gymnosperm are mainly divided into two main types, that is Cycadophyta and Coniferophyta. Cycadophyta mainly consist of the or considered as the lower group of gymnosperm. And what are the different examples, or which plants belong to, which type of gymnosperm belong to the Cycadophyta? Very common example is cycas. These plants we can see around us. So cycas is the example of the Cycadophyta. Another two examples, all these examples are very, very important in some other aspect also. This name you have to remember for the competitive exam. Lyginopteris and Williamsonia. These two are the another member of the Cycadophyta, and they are called as the living fossil. Fossil plant. Lyginopteris and Williamsonia, these two are the examples of Cycadophyta. They are called as the fossil plant. That means their living members cannot be found out now. Now the fossil of the Williamsonia was discovered by Birbal Sahani. So you have to remember these two names as well as the name of the discoverer of the fossil plant of Williamsonia. The Zamia and Zamia pygmea, another member of Cycadophyta. This is the smallest gymnosperm. So remember, it is very, very important. Now we will talk about the another type of gymnosperm, that is Coniferaophyta. They mainly considered as the higher gymnosperm. Here we can see most of the plant body bear the needle-shaped structure. For example, pinus, they are growing in the hilly region, they have needle-shaped leaves. And other examples are Ginkgo biloba, Nitum. These are the other examples of Coniferaophyta. Sequoia is another example of Coniferaophyta. It is also called as the father of the forest because it is the tallest gymnosperm. It is the tallest gymnosperm. Here, Ginkgo biloba is considered as the living fossil. This name also you have to remember. Another name, that is Nitum. This is also important because in Nitum we will see that the xylem tissue have vessels. Usually we have seen that is in gymnosperm xylem tissue do not have vessels, but Nitum and also in this group where Nitum belongs, there we can see that the xylem tissue have the vessels. The Pinus, different species of Pinus like Pinus roxburghi, their seeds are edible. They are also called as the Chirgoza pine. Chirgoza pine. Their seeds are edible. Here another important example, that is called as Ephedra. Another member, it is also very much important medicinally. The ephedrine, one medicine is obtained from ephedra, which is used for asthma or for bronchitis. So remember all these informations. These are the important facts or the objective type of question that can become from this type of or this gymnosperm portion. Now students, we have seen that the gymnosperm bear the xerophytic characteristics. That means they have some similarities with the xerophytic plants. What are those similarities? They also have the taproot system like most of the xerophytic plants. Their stem is hard and woody. They bear pinnately compound leaf and needle-shaped leaf also. Needle-shaped leaves usually do not have the stomata, and that's why they can reduce the transpiration. And whereas we can see the pinnately compound leaf on the leaf epidermal layer. This is the epidermal layer. We will get a thick layer of cuticle. This is epidermis. On the upper surface of epidermis, we are getting thick cuticle layer. Cuticle prevent the excess water loss by the process of transpiration. We are also getting sunken stomata. What is this sunken stomata? Usually stomata are present on the lower surface of the leaf, on the epidermal layer. But when the epidermal layer become little bit inverted inside, that means they are not exposed to the outer surface and stomata are present in that inverted portion of the epidermal layer, then it is known as the sunken stomata. So usually stomata are exposed to the outer surface as they present on the epidermal layer, but in case of sunken stomata, they are present literally inverted condition because sunken stomata mainly present on the leaves of the xerophytic plants, and the sunken stomata are present for gaseous exchange, but they are sunken in nature to prevent the excess water loss. This is one of the important xerophytic characteristics of the gymnosperm. Their plant body is mainly made up of the dead tissues, and the xylem tissues are also present in high amount because whatever amount of water they can get from the rocky surface, they have to transport it to the each and every part of the plant body. That's why their xylem tissues are, or high amount of xylem tissues are present in the plant body. So these are the some basic features of the gymnosperm which are resemble to the xerophytic plant body. So now students, we have the most important part of the video, that is the assignment portion. It consists of some important questions. Practice these questions in your home. So students, from today's video, we have learned about the general features of gymnosperm, their types, and also we have learned about the xerophytic characteristics of the gymnosperm. We have also learned about the some important member of gymnosperm, as the medicinal plant, and some other uses of gymnosperm also we have learned. In the next video, we will learn about the life cycle of gymnosperm, as well as we will do the comparative study of the angiosperm and the gymnosperm.